The mystery of the blue-eyed people that began appearing 10,000 years ago after the last ice age. And we have a reference to one of the first blue-eyed people in the Old Testament, in the book of Genesis, and Noah, the man of good omen who had blue eyes. Now, the emergence of blue eyes occurred between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago as a result of an intriguing mutation. Before that, brown eyes were the only color found in humans on Earth. All those with blue eyes share a common ancestry according to scientific evidence. This single person who is responsible for today's 8% blue-eyed people appeared or was born in a region near the northern Black Sea after the last ice age. Researchers at the University of Copenhagen examined the genetic makeup of the chromosomes in the eye's iris and compared 155 blue-eyed people from a variety of nations, including Jordan, Turkey, and Denmark. The lack of genetic variation among the study subjects and the presence of the same genetic mutations, in particular eye-related chromosomes, suggests that the mutation causing blue eyes is a recent development. A genetic mutation affecting the OCA2 gene in our chromosomes resulted in the creation of a switch which literally turned off the ability to produce brown eyes. Professor Eiberg from the Department of Cellular and Molecular Medicine at the University of Copenhagen, Denmark, said, and according to a study during the last ice age, the world's blue-eyed inhabitants first appeared in a location to the north of the Black Sea. These individuals, according to Professor Hans Eiberg of the University of Copenhagen Department of Cellular Molecular Medicine, were Proto-Indo-European Aryans who rode horses into Iran and India and introduced agriculture to Western Europe. As a recessive characteristic, blue eyes require the inheritance of the gene from both parents in order to be present. A closely related but different gene, dominant in blue eyes but recessive in brown eyes, is the cause of green eyes. The so-called P protein, which is involved in the formation of melanin, is encoded in the OC2 gene. The color of a person's skin, eyes, and hair are all influenced by this pigment. The OC2 does not completely turn off the gene. Instead, it restricts its activity to lowering its iris melanin synthesis, which dilutes brown eyes into blue. Humans would have albinism if the OCA2 gene had been completely eliminated or turned off, leaving them without melanin to give their hair, eyes, or skin color. The blue-eyed gods. There are a lot of mummies with blonde or fair hair when we look at ancient Egypt, which is likely one of the oldest civilizations ever. And similar to this, ancient statues of beings with enormous blue eyes were created by the Sumerians. The lofty temple atop the ziggurat was then constructed to house these antiquated figures. It's obvious that our ancestors attached great significance to the eye motif on these sculptures. Jane Shutter, a forensic archaeologist looking into various skeleton-filled Sumerian burial sites, she claimed that Sumerians were short and sturdy. They had downward sloping eyes, straight, slender noses, and thin lips, and according to Sutter and other archaeologists, the Sumerians had a dark complexion, dark eyes, and dark hair. The dark-haired people was another term used by Sumerians to describe themselves. And even though the gods and goddesses of ancient Sumer were extremely complicated, four of the strong individuals were crucial since they were the ones who created everything. The Sumerian gods were portrayed as people, and Lil, who appeared on earth before people were created, was one of the most powerful and significant gods. The Sumerians, like many other ancient cultures, considered blue eyes to be a sign of the gods. Some of the eyes are highlighted, while those that are only white have probably lost the color that was added when the sculpture was first made. The large blue eyes on the ancient Sumerian statues have symbolic significance. These statues are all unique. Both the faces and the attire differ. This indicates that numerous individuals, rather than just one significant person, were intended to be represented by the statues. And according to Irene J. Winter of Columbia University, New York, the enlarged staring eyes of Mesopotamian motif statues, the votive statues, have often been remarked upon as a characteristic stylistic feature, only occasionally with the proposition that their function must have been to denote attentiveness towards the presumed object of their gaze. Yet it is known that these statues were placed in shrines, either seated within their own chapels or standing in direct visual contact with the resident deity. And this is on House and Wise by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.